Hey guys, Tyler here from Fried Chicken and Rice, here doing Game 2 of the Game Matrix A Championship Top 4. Polo won Game 1 versus Ross. Let's see who wins. Alright, so we're on Game 2, Ross versus Polo. Again, Ross is using Gothitelle, and Polo is using Chandelier with Vileplume. Ross lost, so he gets to go first. He starts with Pichu and plays a Collector. That's good. So Polo doesn't get to use Ross's Pichu's Play for Friends or Play with Friends or whatever it's called, which would let him search out his basic Pokemon. It would help Ross, but it would probably help Polo more right now, especially now that Ross has Collector. It does use up his support for the turn, but considering the rare candy rule and you can't evolve turn 1 or anything, it's not a huge deal. I expect Ross to get a Solosis. Oh, there it is. A Gothorita or Gothita or whatever, and and a Snivy. Uh, better get Gothita. So that's good because he wants to get the Gothitelle up as soon as possible to lock Polo trainers, and then he probably wants to manually evolve the Solosis and the Snivy. So he's going to put a Rainbow on the Gothita and Beach. Looks like he'll probably use it. Yep. Beach is for 3 cards. Polo uses a Sage's Training. And he keeps the Doduo. Probably the Collector here. Yep. Yeah, he really just needs basics at this point. Ross not using the Pichu to really hurt him. Polo's going to play that Doduo down and going to communication away a Jirachi. I think he's going to get Litwick or an Oddish here. Litwick. So, unfortunately, Polo isn't ready to call for family Litwick, so he can't just attach to the energy to the active and call for family for the second Oddish. So he's going to have to use the Collector next turn. He does get to Beach, but not having the Oddish might hurt him if Ross can somehow gust up the Oddish and kill it. We'll see. It's Ross's turn. He beached for 7 cards. He drew, so he has 8. He should have some options. I'm hoping to see a rare candy Gothitelle right now. Promote that and lock Polo trainers down with Gothitelle's ability, Magic Room. There's communication. Hopefully for Gothitelle. Gothita in the deck. Gothitelle or Duocean. That works too. What's that? Junk Arm. Gonna discard 2 other cards, and he's gonna get that communication right back. Gothitelle. Oh, he put in Octillery for a Servine. Okay, actually, yeah, I guess that's a good idea. If Polo somehow has Rare Candy Chandelier, Dodrio, Rare Candy Vileplume, Ross will literally lose if he didn't get out those stage 1s this way. Even if he doesn't have the trainer lock up. Well, no, I don't know. Maybe he just didn't have Rare Candy. Anyway, he's going to Polo the Collectors and attach an energy to Litwick. I think he collected, maybe not. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay. Looked like he just drew the Litwick and the Oddish. So that's pretty good for him. He gets to end right now. Disrupt Ross's strategy a bit. Kind of weird though, considering that Ross definitely did not have Rare Candy in hand. Polo does get turn 2 Vileplume, so this might be trouble for Ross. The Vileplume means that Ross is not going to be able to get that Rare Candy Gothitelle. Thankfully, he does have the Duocean and the Servine out, so he's going to be able to get out his stage 2 there to the Reuniclus, and I expect to see his Superior sometime soon. The combination of those two is going to let Ross damage swap damage from his Pokemon in such a way that Superior can heal it all off with his Pokemon ability in between turns. Superior lets you heal 1 damage from each of your Pokemon in between turns. So with Reuniclus moving damage so you have 1 or 2 damage on each of your Pokemon, you can heal up to 120. This is one of the things that makes Ross's Gothitelle deck's so scary, and he's going to beat you after playing some more Pokemon. Honestly, the Doduo is going to be pretty important here. Lampent's Luring Light ability, Luring Light attack, brain up the Reuniclus, or honestly any of his Pokemon, is going to hurt him a lot. Surprising that he didn't play the energy on the Doduo, because that's going to be the Lampent target. Yeah, I'm not sure why he didn't do that. Yeah, because there he goes. If he had just not attached there, I think it would have been fine. He does have the Dodrio, so at least it's out of OHKO range from Double Chandelure. And he does have an energy, so that's pretty good, but he has no attacking targets. So he's just going to beat... Oh, okay. That's not that bad then. By keeping the Dodrio active, Polo literally has 0 options for his Lampent. I think he's collectoring here. Oh no. I guess it's normal training. So that's pretty fortunate. He's going to get that Chandelure up. Going to evolve that active, and now he gets the Curse Shadow. Unfortunately, if Ross ever gets his Superior, Polo loses. So he's going to put 3 on the Gothita, so putting it at 3, I guess. Goes to Oddish, which is interesting. I'm not really sure if I actually like that Curse Shadow. Doing so lets Ross have damage to move to his Pichu, meaning that he can twins. Yep, Ross is damage swapping, putting, looks like 1 on the other Gothita and 2 on the other one. It's fine, leaves everything out of KO range. Polo is going to Curse Shadow that same Gothita with the energy. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what Polo just played. I assume it was a collector. Yeah, I think it was a collector. So Polo just passes, and Ross draws. Let's see what he does. Yep, there he goes. He's going to kill that Pichu and use twins, and he's going to get that Superior up. Eventually, he's going to get a Gothitelle running. Polo doesn't even have a way to OHKO it at this point. And yeah, it doesn't look like Polo has any energy in hand. It's going to be tough for him to keep up with Ross's infinite damage removal, essentially. Polo can never deal over 130 per turn, which is fine, because he can definitely do that. But he has to Curse Shadow twice, and he has to do Chandelure's Eerie Glow attack to do 50 to deactive, and his opponent has to hit Tails on the burn. And that's not really going to happen all that often, especially not after Polo has as slow of a setup. And yeah, they're superior. It's not looking good. So Ross used Superior's attack to do 60 to the active and move the Rainbow to the Dodrio. Great idea. That makes it so his Dodrio can't be Lampented, and or it can, but if he does, he easily retreats and can reattach another one. If Polo doesn't use Luring Light on the Dodrio, then that gives just Ross more time to power up his Gothitas. If he's a Gothorita, he can get a Gothitelle going. Considering that Polo doesn't even have a second Chandelure, Remoraid may not be a bad option here. Victini would also be fine. Alright, he is getting Victini, Remoraid, and looks like a Gothita with his Pokemon Collector. Probably the Remoraid's going to be the better play here. Artillery lets him snipe 30 anywhere for 1 energy and then switch. The idea there is that he can 30 snipe something and then go back to his Gothitelle to complete the trainer lock. So it's sort of like a pseudo Chandelure deck, just slower, theoretically. So Polo Sages here, totally whiffs everything. He plays a Pichu, which doesn't make any sense to me. I think he's just trying to beach, but I don't think that's worth it. I don't know if I like that play. That's a free prize for artillery. There's no way that Ross could kill the active Chandler, so that doesn't make a whole bunch of sense to me. He just took away his only way to kill the artillery, basically. I don't really know what's going on. He's going to collector. Fails. Beaches for 1. And there's the artillery. Polo's kind of in trouble now. Polo doesn't run Blissey, so the 30 damage is going to rack up over time. You could usually just kill off all the Chandlers, or even just kill off Polo's Vileplume. That would be pretty huge, turn off his trainer lock, but at this point I think he's just going to go for the Chandlers. The Chandlers are legitimately the only threat, so he just took the prize off the Pichu. This does let Polo use his twins now, but at this point Ross is literally completely set up. There's no reason for him to fear Polo's setup anymore. Things are gonna have to go insanely well in Polo's way in order for him to kill the superior. Yeah, Polo's only out right now is going to be to kill that superior, and that's not going to be easier. And he's not going for it. He's going to kill the Gothita. Not a bad play, I guess. I'm not sure if I don't like that he didn't go for the superior kill, because that's the only way he's going to lose at this point. I mean, now that he's set up, he has a chance. Especially that since Ross doesn't really have any other big attackers other than the artillery, and the artillery is going to be half as slow as his double Chandlers. I expect Ross to retreat now because he has free retreat thanks to his Dodrio. Probably bring up the artillery, and then 30 hits something, probably the bench Chandler, so he can't switch it active, and then promote superior again, because really there's no reason not to. It's going to be the hardest thing for him to kill. Oh, there's a Gothitelle. And Victini. Oh, yeah, that's going to be trouble for Polo if he plays energy. But he doesn't. Alright, so he does 60. And Ross gets heads on the confusion flip and the burn flip. So Ross no longer has any damage in play. This is how come his Gothitelle deck is so scary. There is going to be very rare for any player to have any damage against Ross. If there does damage, it's going to be there for a turn, maybe 2. You're probably not going to see it by the time it comes back to you, though. Yeah, so it's a 4 deck like Polo, whose damage output maxes out at 130, depending on coin flips. It's not going to look very pretty. Especially since prizes are tied right now. Ross essentially has full board control. Yep, Ross is retreating for the artillery, and 30 to the active Chandler, bringing up that superior again. And there goes all that damage. Back to step 1, Polo. What you gonna do? Looks like Polo's contemplating attaching energy to his lamp and luring lighting, but just gonna curse shadow and do the eerie glow. So Ross is sitting there with a ton of damage, but yep, it's just basically all gonna get healed off. That's just kind of what this deck does. It locks you down, makes it so you can never kill anything. It's even more vicious than the truth in some ways. If you thought the truth was hard to beat, try playing against Ross's Gothitelle deck. It's crazy. And yeah, Polo scoops right here. I will go on to game 3. Let's see who wins.